Hi everybody and welcome to Des and Lauren. This morning we'll be speaking about water infrastructure collapse and what the government is going to be doing about it and why the government is going to be doing something about it.
Well, this specific article is from Business Tech, and if you stay with us, there's quite a few surprises there, and the headline already tells you a story that will send horror down many people's spines.
I think it's important to note that with all the videos that we do, it takes quite a lot of thought behind deciding which articles to bring to you, the listeners, and the things we don't cover, we don't see as that important. This is an important one, specifically because water is a primary need for survival. Without water, you will die within about 3 days, more or less. So this is very serious, very important. We encourage everyone to become water independent. While energy independent companies are trying to siphon your money from you, your hard-earned money, what you should be focusing on first is water independence.
Yeah, water should always come first before you get to food, then obviously shelter, and then energy. So in that order, water is number one and energy is much further down the line. So these are things that you should consider, and many people in our community have already made sure that they have water supply for a certain period of time.
They have.
And we really want to thank you for making that effort to empower yourself and make yourself more free.
New state-owned company coming to South Africa. Isn't that exciting?
SOE people, another SOE to solve all the problems.
The Department of Water and Sanitation wants to create a state-owned company as South Africa's water infrastructure collapses. So the one thing, that strikes me as strange is how the government once again wants to fix bad government with more government. That seems to be the prevailing strategy every time. Oh, the government's failing, let's throw more government at government to stop government failing, which just means that the government will probably fail faster.
There's more taxpayers' money that gets siphoned off, and with many things like these solar subsidies that have just come out now, where does it come from? Not government. It's taxpayers' money, and this is what many people forget.
Always. There's a surprising reason why the government is caring about water infrastructure all of a sudden. So if you listen to the end of this article, then you'll get to see why. But maybe put in the comments if you can guess why the government cares about our water infrastructure all of a sudden. The department's latest Blue Drop Watch report noted that the quality of South Africa's drinking water is disastrous. The report said that only 38% of water systems achieved excellent microbiological quality, whilst 11% received good microbiological quality. Therefore, 51% of South Africa's drinking water has poor or bad microbiological quality.
Which means it's not potable, you shouldn't drink it, you should stay away from it, don't bring it into your house, etc.
In addition, the report said that 71% of plants did not achieve chemical compliance levels, with only 16% and 14% having excellent and good water quality respectively.
Yeah, let me just specify, these are water treatment plants, not plants in your garden.
I hope you don't have to specify that. Amidst the country's failing water infrastructure, the department is working on legislation to create a state-owned to work on the issue. There we have it, throwing legislation at failing government. According to a government gazette, the draft National Water Resource Infrastructure Agency Water Bill is heading to Parliament. The draft bill calls for the creation of the South African National Water Resources Infrastructure Agency Limited as a state-owned company. The bill was initially published for public comment in September 2022. Who have you heard that? Who have you saw that in the news? Were you part of that public comment? Did you see the notifications? Were you able to participate? Let us know, because I think public participation is very much dead in this country, with the deadlines extended into early 2023.
So that time has come and gone now.
So no more public comments allowed. According to Cabinet, the draft bill aims to provide the incorporation and establishment of the South African National Water Resources Infrastructure Agency Limited as a state-owned company and major public entity owned and controlled by the state to administer, fund, finance, provide, operate, maintain, and provide advisory services in respect of national water resources infrastructure in accordance with sections 10, 11, 24, 27 of the Constitution and national policy.
And this is where the Constitution becomes a real issue. But that's a topic for another day.
But as we can see here, there's a plenty opportunity for tenderizing opportunities.
Yeah, of course, money siphoning, but we're getting to the crux very, very soon. The real crux, the real reason for this water infrastructure. And that has nothing to do with you or the citizens of South Africa at all.
Then also the bill will provide for the transfer of assets and certain liabilities to the South African National Water Resources Infrastructure Agency Limited from the Department of Water and Sanitation and from the Trans-Caledon Tunnel Authority, provide for the disestablishment of the TCTA, and provide for matters connected therewith. The new state-owned company will design, finance, plan and build all national water resource infrastructure with the aim of creating a reliable, equitable supply of water in South Africa.
And it'll be very interesting to see where these water supplies are actually implemented, where the pipelines are running to, and you will find once again that we are a secondary thought, the citizens of South Africa.
Yes, so you've already said that Eskom was never built for us.
It was never built for us, it was built for the mines to extract minerals out of South Africa. And that is why Eskom was, all the power stations were built around the mines. That's what it was about.
This country is all about mining.
Yep.
The beginning and end of this country will be mining.
Uranium especially.
No one cares about us.
And other rare minerals, yeah.
Not the businesses that want the economy to degrade. They don't care about us. I'm talking about the big businesses and the mining businesses as well. Not the politicians, not the president. No one cares about us.
And the evidence is coming just now.
South Africa is nothing but a mining company. Several other initiatives are in the works to save South Africa's crumbling water infrastructure, with private-public partnership picking up pace. The Water Partnership Office, which has been created by the state-run Development Bank of Southern Africa, recently received 4.4 billion rand from the Green Climate Fund. The aim of the office is to facilitate private investment into the water industry to prevent its collapse. It hopes to follow in the footsteps of the nation's electricity procurement agency, which has attracted billions in private investment into renewable energy. In addition, some of South Africa's biggest mining companies, including Glencore and Anglo American Platinum, are working with the government to create a 27 billion rand water project to supply major platinum and chrome operations and several 100,000 people with drinking water. Several 100,000 people.
Yes, we have 60 million people in this country.
The project will expand roughly 170 kilometers in the Limpopo province and will expect to be finished by 2030, that glorious date we're all waiting for.
Absolutely, yes.
When United Nations Agenda 2030 17 Sustainable Development Goals will hopefully be put in place across the world. Not hopefully,
hopefully
not
according
hopefully
to
by
them.
us, hopefully
Yes,
according
by
to them.
Yeah, good luck.
This could get a new model into South Africa, where the government is acting as the regulator and the private entities in partnerships with governmental institutions do more work on the ground, says Labello Water Users Association CEO Bertus Bierman. We would like to get construction started as early as next year. Therefore, the new state-owned water company may immediately start working with the private sector if it becomes operational in the near future. So, I feel like a lot of people will feel like this is good news, that international standards via various entities are being implemented.
We had international standards. We had excellent water infrastructure that worked perfectly fine. It wasn't maintained, it was running to the ground. There's a pattern here. And I spoke about that 3 years ago as we toured the country and spoke to you face to face and told you that the water infrastructure will be allowed to crumble completely. And the new infrastructure will be put in place for smart cities and more minerals extraction out of the country as we are divided into sectors. And you know, these zones in the country will be for agriculture, for mining, or whatever the case may be. But international entities, companies will be in control, not the government. They actually tell it to you openly here, that government will just fulfill a regulatory role, as if they are telling government what it can and cannot do.
So on the
Read
surface,
between the lines, people.
on the surface level, this might seem like good news to you if you don't understand the global picture. But the thing with smart cities comes rations. And with this new entity that's being started, with new regulations that will be enforced, with new systems and processes, what we're going to see by 2030, I am sure of it, is that we're going to be almost forced, if not very strongly coerced, into smart city developments, which are already in the pipeline. We can already see evidence of that in all over the country, all over the world as well. And what we need to survive will be rationed to us. We won't be free to have that bath or shower every morning. That's not going to happen because of the climate change. Just like they say, a lot of the funding has come from the climate change.
Climate change, yes. Well, organizations across the world. And you know, these scaremongering, fear-mongering organizations have been there since the 60s. It's nothing new. I sit with an entire file here that my dad had from the 70s, where he was involved with these organizations to try and stop the world from getting flooded 10 meters under by the year 2000. Something that obviously never happened. Fortunately, in his lifetime, he could see what absolute nonsense it was. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't pollute. Our cities is a huge concern right now. People are being forced to live on top of each other, and this is where the smart city model will just be forced down our throats, because all cities will become deserts if we continue the way we are right now. The city of Cape Town, where we live, is overpopulated within the metro to a point where it cannot sustain itself anymore. The pollution is abhorrent. For people to live in that, you will become diseased, people will just become sick, and the entire society will just fall apart.
Let us know what you think of this new development in government. It would be great to just wake up one day and have a functioning government and a sovereign country that's independent of global agendas. But we're not there yet. There's a lot of work to do. So stay on this channel if you would like to know more. We will be opening up applications for Amiga training, which will teach you things like preserving water for yourself and your family when infrastructure does collapse or when government decides to ration you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Click the bell icon to get notifications for future videos. And please like this video if you like this content and share it with your friends and family.
Bye
everyone.